All right, I guess it's time to get started. So without further ado, we bring you Amtech's presentation in the EnCore upgrade series, export data to Excel with one click. Accounting gets a whole lot easier with EnCore. So today, we've got a good mix of folks to talk to you today. Myself, Ira Atkins, Customer Success Principal. Lisa Thomas, who's the mastermind behind all the financial cases that come through application support, my backup today. And Michaela Connolly, who will be directing from the behind the scenes to keep the webinar going smoothly. So glad you could join us all today, and we'll hop on in. So I think we're going to launch a poll first. So stand by. So the poll's in progress here. How do you feel about navigating between modules in Imaginera? Easy as pie. If pie had a 100-step recipe, I need a GPS to find my way around. It's my daily cardio workout, or help, I'm stuck in the 90s. Give you just a minute to answer. All right, thank you for that. So we'll launch right into the webinar here. What's really fantastic about EnCore, and we'll talk a little bit more about the application itself in just a moment, is the user interface difference. And we've got this great representation to look at here, where you can kind of see the 90s version of our software, Imaginera, that's got the gray screens, general ledger. This is what it would look like if you went into work in general ledger. And then on the right side is, you know, what it looks like when you come in to work on the general ledger application. Exact same functionality, just with a sleek, modern interface, right? So the other part that's really great, other than being able to launch this program from any browser, is also that it's much more secure. We have Veracode verification on EnCore and some of our other applications, and the equivalent of that is like having your food certified for safety, right? It's a certification body that puts us through some rigorous testing just to make sure that your data is staying safe inside the application. And there's some enhancements in the user interface. So I just want to take a minute and show you EnCore itself. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. But this is actually what an EnCore home screen could look like for you. So on the left-hand side, we have the quick links, which basically are just shortcuts for anything inside the application you might want to be able to jump to quickly. So say you work in accounts payable all day, you could have a button in the quick link section that opens it up directly without having to navigate through menu options. So little bonus there. We have some alerts in the middle section where you can set things up like, you know, what are my current period sales or things that are on hold. And then independent links on the far right-hand side are just going to be your typical URL anywhere on the internet, just so you can have everything kind of in one place in your launch pad here. And then back to what we're familiar with in Imaginera, all those menu options we've nested up here at the top. So as you can see, we've got the different sections you can turn on and off in security. And for our financial folks, we've got everything kind of nested up underneath this financials umbrella. And it's pretty great. So let's launch General Ledger and we'll take a look. So that same screen that we were looking at before, we're able to really see what's going on. See the before and after here. I just want to kind of show you for clarity. This is my general ledger screen, and it provides me that that look into all those different menu options. So just like Imaginera, we have it sectioned off: entry, queries, reports, updates. And you know, if you're not a buttons person, we still have the same things nested up here in the mega menu, so that you can have one view of all the different functions that you can do inside this particular section of the software. And you can even hop to different modules down here in the corner. So it's all very convenient, and we tried to make it very user-friendly. And what's also great is ability to customize those data views. So we'll take a look at the slides one more time and just see, oops, what slides we have going on here. So you can expand and modify your views because of the browser-based interface. So, you know, say you're closing the books at the end of the month and maybe your eyes are starting to get tired and you don't want to see the screen at the same resolution. Let's see, we'll grab a period here that's got some data in it here, and want to zoom in. I gotta go further back than that. My test data here, pardon me. I can come up here and change the zoom on the screen so that I can make it bigger and larger and smaller if I wanted to see more information. The other side of that is being able to customize your data lists. So in Imaginera, everything is very hard coded. It's not a lot of options to be streamlining the view of the data in the system. So in EnCore, we tried to bring you a better experience with that. So all these headers, you have the ability to just drag and drop and change the sequence that you're looking at things, and you also have the ability to even hide things completely from this view, which comes in handy when you're doing your data exports. So just a quick rundown, we have these grid controls we've added in, and that's basically, if I was looking at this on a web browser on my iPad, for example, I don't have a mouse, I can use this little finger button to double click on the information on the screen and still interact with it. We've got copy paste, we've got export to Excel, download to a report, and then we have some functionality to be able to customize that view. So I'll show you what I'm talking about in the application. So customizing the view here, I can actually change the width of the columns, and maybe I don't need to ever see this currency column, so I'm going to just hide it and it'll make it disappear from the screen. I have to go out and come back in, but it's going to give me that currency column is now hidden forever. So I'll have a better idea of what I want to look at instead of having a bunch of extra information on the screen. Now, I know the feature everybody's most excited about is the ability to export to Excel. It was certainly my best friend when I worked in accounting. And let me show you how easy this is. All I do is click one button and I can export that file to Excel. And you might say, yes, but is it usable data? And I'm here to tell you that it is. Look at that. Everything's nice and clean. It's exactly in the columns that it's supposed to be. We've got the headers. So it's pretty nice, clean data export so that you could really export general ledgers and dive in and do some analysis and then come back into the program and do the work that you need to. Another great feature about the browser-based interface is, you know, download management. As you're kind of working, archiving information by export and things like that, you can control where your downloads get saved through the browser. So super convenient. Let's see what else we want to talk about today. Go back over into our slides. Okay, we're looking at additional exports to Excel. So we'll pull back up the program and let's talk about reports. Let's say, for example, we want to go into our statements and we're looking for the balance sheet information so that we can prepare a report for the general manager or executive team. I can come in here and easily select my periods just like I would in Imaginera, but now I have the ability to hit the file button and say, oh, balance sheet .csv and click OK. And instead of using the system report, now I have a nice clean export of the balance sheet information that I can dump into a template and pretty up for my presentation of the data to my team. So almost all, I think, of the reports in EnCore now have the ability to export to a CSV file for those same benefits. The other one that I want to show you as well maybe is the detail by code. Maybe I want to do a drill down, and I can come up here and say drill down .csv. Very important to remember the extension. And I can export that out and very quickly have some data that I can manipulate and analyze, things like that. So again, nice clean export to Excel. I think we're going to launch another poll. So what feature do you think will be most helpful in EnCore? The sleek, modern web-based interface, customizing data views like a boss, exporting data to Excel with just a few clicks, or all of the above? Why choose when you can have it all? All right, we've got the poll closed. Thank you for that. Just a little extra stuff to spice things up. So now let's talk about some additional EnCore modules that you can add on once you're upgraded to EnCore that really are going to just enhance your experience with the software and let you take everything just a step further. So we're going to talk about visual analytics, sign and drive, advanced performance costing, and our newest feature that's called EnCore events. So let's talk about visual analytics first. So basically, we can kind of take what we were talking about before, exporting to Excel, then maybe you go and create some pivot tables, you do some conditional formatting, you present, right? Always digesting the information and presenting it to other people to make good decisions. Amtech Visual Analytics kind of takes you to that next level where you can create interactive dashboards and reports that automatically get delivered to your users. So you basically set it up once and you never have to export that data and create pivot tables again. So we'd love to demo this product for you. The only thing I'd like to show you in the application as far as Ava is concerned is that we also built this into EnCore so that you can launch your dashboards and reports that you have built inside the Ava module directly from within the program. So if I'm in inventory planning and I have dashboards and reports for Ava, I'm able to launch those from here, and same thing for all the Ava dashboards and reports that I have built for my financials. So again, we're trying to get you into that one-stop shop mentality so that you can really focus on what's important and not spend a bunch of time doing administrative work, right? We all have better things to do. So let's hop back over to our slides here. And our second feature that you can add on to EnCore, it's only available in EnCore, is Sign and Drive. And Sign and Drive is actually fairly new. We just launched it within the last year, and it gives you the ability to capture digital proof of delivery from any device. So you basically are able to send a text message, email alert to your customer and the driver. The customer can digitally sign on their device. And what's even better for the accounting folks is that you can automatically issue that invoice at the time of the signature without human intervention at all. If the customer is set up as an auto invoice, if they don't say there's anything wrong with the delivery, then boom, they get the invoice within about 60 seconds of signing for the delivery. So it can speed up your cash flow tremendously. Another thing that's showing in this screenshot on the screen right now is in customer service. As a former customer service person, I can attest to how nice this would have been. I can actually go into order processing and relaunch that proof of delivery at any time. So if a customer calls and they're like, hey, I can't find the proof of delivery for such and such load, they can come in here and see that signed copy and resend it directly from EnCore. So really cool advancements this year. Another thing I want to tell you about is automated performance costing. So if you're in finance, in the packaging world, you've probably had to work on cost models in the past. And I've been around for a couple decades, and it used to be that a consultant would come on site and they would sit in a room for a couple of days, maybe a week, and they would look at all the financials, and then they'd come back and say, this is how you need to set everything up so that you can make sure you're capturing all your current costs and run speeds and all those good things. And we decided that, you know what, we should get that power back to the users. So we've developed the automated performance costing module to sort of modify that process, put it back in your hands, and it has the ability to export those data points out into the program. You can do your analysis and export and then import them back into EnCore and update your costs. So you could do it much more regularly, make sure you're being competitive with your pricing to your customers, which at the end of the day, what it's all about, right? It's getting that new business. So that's really fantastic. We would love to demo that more for you. I will say the difference between EnCore and Imaginera for this product is there's actually an analyze tool that launches in the background once you've imported your model back in. Say you wanted to run some cost estimates with the new model, you're able to do that directly inside EnCore and compare two different cost models, your production and your theoretical, I guess, that you're modeling right on screen, so you can kind of see what the level differences are side by side. It's super nice. I know that's a really nerdy thing to say, but I really enjoy it. Our last feature that we just launched recently is called EnCore Events. So clearly it's only for our EnCore customers. Is a thing called EnCore Events that's basically where I can set up alerts inside the system. So things like, hey, somebody renamed a general ledger account, or a customer went on invoice credit hold, or an order went on credit hold that maybe the accounting department needs to go in and see whether they can release that and get the order out to production. It basically creates a little alert in the corner of the system. Here's my little bell I'm showing you in the application, and you can come in here. I don't have any alerts set up for you, so I apologize, but basically, say something happened that went on hold, I would get a little text box here that just alerted me that event happened in the system, and that's very customizable. So you can kind of decide what information is important to you. You can do profitability on or levels on orders and things like that. So it's a pretty fantastic management tool. So I think we have one more poll that we want to launch before we wrap things up. The poll question is, how soon are you looking to upgrade to EnCore? And I'll let you read those yourself, but I'll give you a minute to answer. All right, poll is closed. Thank you for your answers. And we'll go on to questions. We're going to open it up. I don't think that there's mic abilities, but you're welcome to type any questions into the chat, and we'll do our best. Again, I've got Lisa here, who's my finance expert as well. So any questions about EnCore upgrades and things of that nature, please go ahead and type. It looks like we've got a question. Are you finally able to use the keyboard shortcuts like T for today and W for week like you can in all other parts of Imaginera? Yes, we've taken that functionality and added it into EnCore so that when you're in the finance modules, you're able to use those keyboard shortcuts to fill in date fields.
Isla, I think we have one more question that came in. Do the column headings export with the grids when you export to Excel?
Oh, that's a great question. You only know how great that question is if you've been an Imaginera user, because anytime you could get stuff out of Imaginera, you certainly didn't get the headers in. And we did fix that in EnCore. You definitely can bring the headers with you when you export data. Great question.
Okay, awesome. And then I do think we have one more. Are all of the same security permissions available in EnCore as well?
Fantastic. Yeah, I am a big proponent of security. Yes, all that and more is available in EnCore. We actually added some security management features in EnCore so that you can manage security by groups in a little bit enhanced way. But all the different security application protocols are the same as far as being able to control who can get into invoicing and accounts payable, general ledger, all those things.
Excellent. I think that's those are all the questions that came in.
Okay, fantastic. We'll advance to the last slide and just say, please feel free to scan the QR code if you want to learn more about Amtech software, or contact us. We would love to do a deeper dive and demo the software for you, answer any questions you might have. Otherwise, I just want to thank you for your participation. We're glad you came and joined us today. And if you're watching the recording, thanks for watching the recording. I hope you got some nuggets out of this that might inspire you to want to upgrade. All right, we're going to close out the broadcast now. Again, feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help, and we look forward to talking to you.